honesty be dim day. We in global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we love lake. We in global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek come here represent for we in global TV. Check it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are on the Eastern timeline, if you are in London and the United Kingdom, good afternoon and welcome. There is a bit of delay, but I'm sorry about that because there's a bit of changes to my program. I'm waiting for some information that I want to bring to you, which is still processing at the moment. But I hope by the time we get there, we should have those information ready for you. Is Jamaica ever closer to civil unrest? Given the provocation of the Prime Minister towards the chief of the compound town and the sovereign people of the compound, is the Prime Minister baiting a civil war or civil unrest in the country? Is it about time the international community tell Andrew Holness, you may violate domestic law and get away with it, but if you're a part of this club, then you must abide by our international mechanism in order to stay a member of this club. To my community of parity and all my family members, good morning, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers and subscribers, commenters and trolls, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning, Beat and Teach. Natalia Freeman, Yvonne Johnson, who else is there? Patricia Matthews, Agency Driver 5, Cousin Jay, Wagwan, Paula Shelley, Sheena Kelly, Marcia Thomas, Herbert Tuzelin, Cousin Rohan, you're about my Facebook this morning, Wagwan, Jamrock, 8766 Bros, Joan Bailey, Christopher, Colleen Allen, Pamela Okola, EM. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome. While me I wait for these video process so I can take them into my broadcast, then I will continue to talk about the few issues when I come out of it talk about this one. Coming up out of it tan long enough, what I do a bright, sparkling and hot, done cook already, contain out the food. We may carry a park with me because it's all day for the rest of the day today. But only people in Jamaica can keep secrets, so Master B-Row. No can keep secret. Andrew Holness a run around the country and mad. I mean, I hear a soul up in their mouth talk about what is happening to the Prime Minister. I wonder if I Instagram on my computer is still logged in because I haven't got access to Instagram on my phone. And to you all, I now have, see there, me log out to Instagram here so too. I'm now back on Instagram. You know about Instagram? This is the moment to be able to use. I'm now back on my WhatsApp. My phone provider provides me a better service than London Metropolitan Police, which I do not expect to hear anything more from until in about 2 weeks they will write me a letter to say this and that and the case is closed. So there you go about that. But if you get back a phone, I have to take out a new contract and them send me back my SIM. So I have to take on extra debt in order to get back a proper working phone because this phone was important to my graphics because it used all of the new fango dangle them. But I'm back on communication, so both of my WhatsApp are up and running again. I've lost a lot of numbers because some numbers that was saved to the device or the SIM card itself, I've lost all of those, but those that were backed up to my email, I've retrieved. So I'm back in a communication. And as you all know, the two numbers are on the screen. However, Uno Jamaican can really keep a secret because the Prime Minister is going around the country, mad, barking crazy. And I don't hear no one talk about it. I don't hear no one talk. So the Prime Minister was rather than Joe Biden. Because at least Joe Biden, madness, valid. But the Prime Minister is only 52, just turned 52. I think last week or whenever, this week or whenever. Last week, I think. Just turned 52. But the Prime Minister is barking mad. The Prime Minister is going around the country ever since Hurricane Beryl. The Prime Minister has been using the hurricane, no, not has been using, has used the hurricane to trigger his election campaign. However, though, not spending enough time dealing with the relief and rebuilding of Beryl, but rather has launched his election campaign across the country in the midst of a disaster. But it's the usual Andrew Holness, an election in the middle of a pandemic and lockdown, that in the end spike the virus. The Prime Minister, rather than focusing on the rebuilding and recovery efforts from Beryl, the Prime Minister is championing two main narratives across the country, to name but a few. It is quite a lot of things that the Prime Minister is going around the country forcing Jamaicans to believe, Pamela Akola. But there's two that he zoomed in on particularly. One is his social housing campaign that the Prime Minister used as vote coercion, in my view, and vote buying across the country by how the Prime Minister does it. Because what the Prime Minister is talking about in his head, there's nothing of such that would be of social housing, what the Prime Minister is doing. Totally flawed. Even though the Prime Minister would want to have you believe that his social housing project has assisted Jamaicans. But what the Prime Minister is doing, it's very fraudulent in the way he does this social housing project. The Prime Minister of late, since Beryl, the Prime Minister is on a high drive of showing the world and the country how much social housing he has been delivering. Why is the Prime Minister on election campaign without election being declared? The Prime Minister may have surmised that it is a possibility that he could be challenged at conference come this November. The Prime Minister is on a heist around the country Trying to repair a damage will never happen. Credibility in order to call a snap general election before November 2024 conference. Therefore, the Prime Minister have a vested interest in showing all of us how well his government is doing, but how well him, Andrew Holness, as a Prime Minister is doing. That's the agenda the Prime Minister going around the country with. But I've seen the Prime Minister done something, I would say, startling or spectacular or whatever you want to call it. Since November of last year conference, JLP conference, the Prime Minister is on a drive to convince the nation that crime is down. This is the wrong slide. Oh my God. Convince the nation that crime is down. Hold on, let me try to upload the other evil. It is not happening in the way the Prime Minister wants it, because regardless of what the Prime Minister says in trying to convince us, the figures that we are seeing coming from mainstream media and social media, nothing has given the Jamaica people confidence to say that crime is down. It is just not true. But the Prime Minister has taken his convincing a bit further. What the Prime Minister, I see, have been doing throughout the last week or so is going around the country almost in a hissy fit. One could argue, proverbially, pointing guns at superintendent in order to give the Prime Minister the crime statistic he wants across the country, in order to convince all of us how much crime is going down and has gone down. The issue with that, though, the Prime Minister is yet to realize that no one has felt it, no one believes it, whether the business community, whether the people, nobody is feeling it. But the Prime Minister is on a drive to make sure when we go to the poll next, remember that this government brings crime down. You can't say more on that. Why the Prime Minister is forcing us, Monica Hall, to believe something that doesn't exist, something that nobody is feeling. But the Prime Minister is hell-bent that we should believe that crime has gone down. Yet, 8 years, 7, 8 years on, and this government has not produced a crime policy. When we say the Prime Minister is Minister Everything, he is really Minister Everything. He's the one who's campaigning around the country about the health service and the mosquito galanging, not Dr. Tufton, the Prime Minister. Yes, he's the one responsible for the National Work Agency, even though he has a puppet there. He's the one who is chanting that. He's the one who is chanting social housing. The Prime Minister also takes over policing. It is the Prime Minister that went around the country and gathered his statistics from all the different areas of policing across the country in order to show you that Plan Secure Jamaica. Look, when the Prime Minister, hey, Koshatas, the Prime Minister is now coming with a crime plan. Plan Secure Jamaica. Plan Secure Jamaica. The Prime Minister could only come up with Plan Secure Jamaica after 7 going 8 years in government. Can you believe it? After crime, Robert Raleigh, after crime has escalated and gotten out of control so bizarrely under this government's tenure, the Prime Minister is now, after 7 years, coming to the people with Plan Secure Jamaica. What is Plan Secure Jamaica, Prime Minister? All the Prime Minister is talking about is their equipment and technological advances. How paid or how trained are your police, Prime Minister, in order to fight crime? How well equipped they are, Prime Minister, because if they don't have vehicle to go into a next door community 2-3 miles from a station to perform an arrest, they're telling you we don't have any vehicle. I wonder how much courage that would bring to the people of Jamaica to hear about Plan Secure Jamaica. Explain, though, Prime Minister, how different would Plan Secure Jamaica be from the leave your windows and doors open? Explain the difference in those two. Explain any enhancement or any scaling down in the policy, Prime Minister, because it must have been in your head from 2015. Or you're so docile that you're only get around to be conjuring it up now. Plan Secure Jamaica. After the Minister of National Security, Prime Minister, is involved in so many illegal gun smuggling, can we really have confidence in a Plan Secure Jamaica led by Horace Champ, Lanford Wilson, Kimon Green, Lillis Lockerbie? Can we really? Jacqueline Murray. Can we really rely on such? Should we have confidence in such? Should we even believe such? Should we even give it a blinking thought? Because we've heard it before. It's not like anything new we're not conjure up and come with. It's all something that we've heard before. Nothing new. Talk to Prime Minister. When new? What is new this time? What is really new this time? I cannot seem to see. I don't know why my things are not loading. Oh my God. I really want these videos to load. But I'm having issues getting them in. Never mind, we'll continue. Deborah Muriel, how are you? The people of Jamaica will not believe any other promise from this Prime Minister. My proper slide is in now. The people of Jamaica, and those are my illicit 8. Everybody can make up for them illicit 8 if they want. Those are mine. The Prime Minister and his wife, Darrell Vaz, Nigel Clark, Babs Grange, Fable Williams, Christopher Tufton, and James Robertson. Those are my illicit half dozen plus 2. Anne-Marie Vernon over on Facebook. Good morning and welcome. Those are my illicit 8. You can create your illicit 8 as you choose. But until the government or the Integrity Commission comes out and say who they are, these are my 8 parliamentarians that are under investigation for enrichment through the proceeds of crime. Because when you call it illicit, it sounds nice and posh and big wordish and good wordish. Through the proceeds of crime. Enriching themselves, parliamentarians, enriching themselves through the proceeds of crime. No illicit round you have dunce like me got in a good big word. Me never, who me fit take out and put in flight green you? Who there so me can drop out? Choose who fit drop out beta teach. Me contemplated that, but who here should I drop out? Or we have to go illicit 8 plus 1. Because by next year, by next year, the report come out, the illicitism I go grow. You understand? The illicitism I go grow by 24, 25 report. Jason, how you do? But, Beat and teach me don't know who to take out here for right now. And then Norman done. So, I would have to dig out 2 out here, so. For put in Flight Green and Norman done. Who there so can take out Beat and teach? Talk truth. Who there so can take out? Why you see how difficult you find it difficult to find a good labor and you find it difficult to find a why terrible. Everywhere you turn a calamity upon labor. But the Prime Minister is ram raiding and going through to make sure that my Andrew Holness popularity, where you say take out Favor and put in Flyd, and then say Jonas and Bobby Montague, Lord Jesus, we run out of space. We run out of space for hold the criminal them. You ever see something go so? No space not if put criminal. So take out Favor and James and put in Flyd and Bobby Montague or Flyd and Flyd and Norman done. No, sir. Don't be that teach. Make up for you. Make up for your 6. Make up for your 6 and send me the poster. Everybody make up for the 8 illicit and send me the poster so we publish them every day. What about with it? No, sir. Delroy Chuck. What a calamity. We run out of space to hold criminal. Can you believe that? We have more criminal than space. More criminals than space to fit them in. That is the government we are running. It is really the government that we are running. It's really not a fun thing. But the Prime Minister, just run around the place so I show everybody how well he cared about Jamaica people, Tina Moore, and he's giving them housing. Him just a ram it home, son, just a ram it home. But the Prime Minister is the one who go around and I talk about all of the portfolio, because this year fogging and all of them something that to do with the mosquito. A doctor of death era them, yeah. A doctor death era them about the Prime Minister, as I said, Minister head cook and buckle washer, Minister everything. The illicit 20 that we need. Them need to declare the 20, make we find space, put them. Because I'm sure we have more than 20 and we wouldn't short a space out when we get the 20. The Prime Minister is just hell bent. I him a propaganda around the country about national solid waste management, how much them are clean up and this and that. Sean, how are you? But when it comes to policing, it is what is startling. And you can go up on the Prime Minister page, go look, because I never want car in video them come around here. See it here? I don't make it up. Plan, secure Jamaica. That's his crime plan. Plan, secure Jamaica. See there? All Warminton, Marcelin. Plan, secure Jamaica came 7 years after the Prime Minister in government. 7 years. Why you think, Elijah, how are you? Why you think Plan Secure Jamaica is going to make any difference from the leave door and window open Jamaica? Aren't we dealing with the same Jamaica? Aren't we dealing with the same tyrannical regime that this government is and has become? So I really don't understand the whole Plan Jamaica malarkey that the Prime Minister is talking about. I don't even know what it means. What does it really mean? I don't think the Prime Minister can explain to Jamaicans what Plan Secure Jamaica means. But in order to convince the nation, throughout the whole week, the Prime Minister has gone around the country in front of the camera, under the glare of the element and hot sun, taking crime report from various different superintendents across the country. I've never seen anything like this before. The desperation done it, Harriet. The desperation of this Prime Minister. It's glaring. It is becoming boring now to see how the Prime Minister is cascading around the country, trying to rebuild his credibility. All these are different police zone, the Prime Minister, and he makes sure he does it optically. An election campaign, real black woman. An election campaign swung wide open by this Prime Minister. He has gone around the country for the entire week trying to convince you by holding a gun at the hierarchy's head in order to come on camera with the Prime Minister and tell you, the people, how crime has gone down in your area, how they have cleaned up crime, serious crime, murders in your area. It has been happening all week. Go on the Prime Minister Facebook page. Go watch the Prime Minister collected crime report after crime report. I've never seen anything like this done before. I've never seen it. What happened to the way you lot always lie on paper? Why do you need to do it in front of the camera, Prime Minister? Why must the report be given to you, Prime Minister, and not to the Minister of National Security? I don't understand it. Why to you and not to the Commissioner? I don't understand. The Prime Minister is hell-bent in repairing his dead credibility and integrity in order to have an election before November, because he will be challenged on leadership grounds at conference by November. Otherwise, the entire Jamaica Labour Party has either been paid off or is docile in order to allow Andrew Holness to take this party into the gutter with him. Even this morning, I was arguing with myself, and I was saying, why does Andrew Holness get the chance to walk around Jamaica in peace? I wish Knight may ask him the question when he said I'm going to take back Spanish Town. Me ask him if I'm going to do it in conjunction with Babsy, because if Babsy a walk on Spanish Town boy them so much, if Dr. Changa walk on Spanish Town boy them so much, me no know how you will go manage to take back Spanish Town Prime Minister when a two of your cabinet member the gangs of Spanish Town. I really don't know how you work that out, Prime Minister. But then again, you talk out a cloud. So is one of you know that talk out a cloud Gallagher. But I was talking to myself this morning, and I was asking myself the question, how is it that Andrew Holness gets the chance to walk around in Jamaica so peaceful and unchallenged? I don't know how it happens. Margaret Thatcher, when I came to Britain, wasn't in power, but is the most reviled and criticized woman or politician in this country. When Margaret Thatcher died, it was a street celebration, party after party, celebrating the death of Margaret Thatcher, burning effigies of Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher statue and grave cannot rest peacefully in this country. There's somebody always attacking Margaret Thatcher in her death. Anthony Lionel Lyon Blair, after taking Britain into an illegal war and has killed many Iraqis and caused the lives of many British armed personnel, is very reviled in this country. Ask Tony Blair if he can walk anywhere in this country in a peace. He cannot. He have to walk with more security than when he was a prime minister. Ask Prince Charles if he can walk in this country in peace. If people just need to hear where any one of them lock their turn up, and there's a crowd there waiting to demonstrate against them. I don't know how Andrew gets the chance. I don't know how Andrew gets the chance to walk peacefully in our country. I don't understand it. Margaret Thatcher can't dead here so peacefully. Margaret Thatcher seems to have mashed up the British economy and the mining infrastructure of this country. And she's been rejected and reviled because of that. Forever that shall be. Margaret Thatcher, nor grave. Margaret Thatcher statue, nor grave cannot rest peacefully in this country. It cannot. Tony Blair will never have peace in this country. Never. Prince Charles will never have peace in this country. Ask John Prescott. Rotten eggs, tomato. He will never have peace in this country. And these people behave nowhere close to how Andrew Holness is behaving. When Margaret Thatcher was asked What in a I think it was a BBC interview, Margaret Thatcher was asked, "What are your greatest achievements?" Margaret Thatcher said, "My greatest achievement was Tony Blair. I have produced him." Those are the two most reviled politicians in this country. How does Andrew Holness walk around Jamaica, move around Jamaica unchallenged? Nobody no demonstrate against him. Everybody sir him, honorable him, and all of those things. How does Andrew Holness walks around Jamaica in peace? How does or why should he walk around Jamaica in peace? It tells you politically how the people of Jamaica have gone straight to bed. Straight to bed. The people of Jamaica has gone. And this is why this prime minister can do the things he do and get away with them. Walk around our country with a smile, a grin on his face, unchallenged. Unchallenged. I find it frightening and depressing at the same time. Conservative Deborah, New Labour Deborah was just a hidden form of conservative. That's why it was called New Labour. It was hidden conservative. And that's why. But what Tony Blair did is, rather than Margaret Thatcher, who was on the extreme end of conservatism, Tony Blair moved to the center where he could draw in bit from the old Labour policies and draw in bit from the conservative policy and create his new Labour and his centrism in politics. So now you hear them talk about Camilla was way to the left when she was a presidential candidate in the previous presidential race. Then she dropped out and became VP for Biden. Now she's playing the centrist game because in politics, the safer game to play is the centrism where you sit in the middle of the two extremes, the extreme left, the extreme right. You don't want to be told that you're too right-wing, or you don't want to be told that you're too socialist and communist. That is what the left wing is described as. So the safer side is playing the centrist politics, where you cut it in the middle and try to please everybody on both sides. And this is the game that the Harris campaign is playing now. DJ Architect, how are you? That's the game they're playing now. But Norman Ferguson, Ubuntu, Sharon Pearce. It's very depressing to see how hard the Prime Minister is trying to convince us, knowing that we do not believe him, we do not care about any more of his lies, we do not believe any of his promises. So to be running around the country, convincing the country, taking crime reporting statistics from different superintendents and commanders around the country, bringing us a crime plan 7 years after you've promised us, plan secure Jamaica. How will Plan Secure Jamaica work, Prime Minister? How well will your tracking of vloggers? How well will your tracking of vloggers support your Plan Secure Jamaica initiative? It's only more noise in the market. Roger Forbes, well going, bro? It is only more noise in the market with the Prime Minister. But the Prime Minister is not actually focusing on what is selling in the market. The Prime Minister have this mindset. If I show myself to be a good leader on all fronts, Jamaica will certainly re-elect me. When Jamaica see how I have looked after them throughout the storm, I looked after their health care, I looked after their crime and all of that. The Prime Minister is going around the country legitimizing himself. Your work, Prime Minister, your work will speak for yourself. You really wouldn't have to open your mouth. You really wouldn't have to go around the country with a camera, Prime Minister, being optical, sending subliminal messages. I guarantee you, if you had done your job, if you have fulfilled your promises, I guarantee you, Prime Minister, you would not be going around the country trying to convince people based on a lie. The reason why you have to resort to lies, Prime Minister, is because of massive failures, identifiable failures, glaring failures. And you promised them, and you couldn't deliver upon them, right? You're the one who promised all of them. You were the one, or are the one, who failed miserably at that, dismally to deliver. You can't come hold with feet to the fire now and say, "Una must believe that I have done well." What about Matty Samuda's crime, Prime Minister? How Plan Secure Jamaica will deal with a crime such as election fraud, vote rigging, and vote buying? You see the amount of hoops we have to jump through, Prime Minister? It don't make no sense you try to convince we say crime is done. We don't idiot like that. Trust me. We don't idiot. I don't so crime reporting go, Prime Minister. In which country you will hear of government have to walk from police station to police station with a camera. Go convince people say crime down. Something is wrong. Something wrong, Prime Minister. You have become so desperate that you've decided to do it all on your own. You know, sister, you're not helping our party, sir. Not an ounce, you know. You know, see nobody will come out with you. I mean, know if a bully, you bully them and tip over and turn up pan the whole of them head. But everybody look like them gone silent by you. I don't know what is going on with my videos, and I can't log into my Instagram from my computer. I don't know what to do. Can't log in. Is this my right Instagram? This isn't it. But if I get to log in on one of my old Instagram, then I should be able to go over. See that? Oh gosh. Let me use this password and create a temporary password for now. I don't want to sign up, I want to sign in. Anyway, it's not working for me now. But there's a development in their compound town where the government is pushing its government badness on their compound town, because never before had we had any other administration that has been at odds with the Maroons. I'm not aware of it, but this government is determined that they are going to want the Maroons' territory, because for this prime minister, it's about territory. It's about the prime minister mining and enhancing his mining ambitions and business ambitions in the mining sector. Is Andrew Holness provoking a civil unrest in our country? Would there be a benefit to Andrew if there's a civil unrest in Jamaica? Quite possible. It could get him to say that Jamaica is at war, suspend the constitution and the election, and have his merry way with us, you see. So when you're thinking of how this government operates, you have to think broad scope. But there's a high possibility, because I'm not planning to stay beyond an hour this morning, and those videos are yet to process because I got hold of them a bit late, and some of these videos take a bit of time to process through the system. Usually it should have been available to me by now, but I'm still not able to have it in my broadcast stream at the moment. So I think I might have to come back and do at least a half an hour show tonight when I have proper access. I'm going to try to get logged back in to my Instagram, because I'm probably going to have to change the password because I cannot remember it. Everything did dip on my fingerprint, you see. All my passwords for everything from my phone was saved on my fingerprint. But because this is a new device now, then I have to redo everything. For those I cannot remember, I have to change the password and relink them back to my finger again. So I don't know. But I definitely want to follow up and highlight this new development and the new deliberate provocation by this government. It is a deliberate act. It is a deliberate provocation. The prime minister didn't get what he wanted, constitutionally changing the constitution. The prime minister is not in a good enough place at the moment to go to a general election. You might never tell what the prime minister have up his sleeve. The two greatest Machiavellian in Jamaica is Andrew Holness and Peter Bunting. And one should always be aware of those two. I don't trust anything that Andrew Holness is doing. There's always an ulterior motive to what the prime minister does. and get involved in. I have no idea. And I so wanted to cover this issue this morning, but I really don't know what my password, can't remember my Instagram login details. Because once I request them to flash my phone, then it disconnects a lot of things. Hold on. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see if I can do a quick forget password. I really want to highlight this issue. Hold on. Hold on there. No, that's not it. It's not even allowing me on the computer to do a reset password. But I promise you I will have to come back and do this evening because it is their compound town, so this is close to my heart. So I will have to. Even the army will send up a maroon town. And this for me is becoming a constitutional issue where the police is used in policing and intimidation against Jamaican people. I don't want to start on the opposition this morning. Jesus Christ Almighty God, I don't have the strength and I don't have the time and son hot out to do about one whole heap of issue that Jamaica for champion, but I will not go to church this morning, Wayne. Wayne, go to church this morning. Do not start. Do not start, Wayne. Go to church. Go to church. Hey. There's so many issues to stand against in this country. So much. But we don't have the right help and the right voices. We don't have the right help and the right voices. Because the way our army is used in Jamaica, I'm no great constitutionalist, but I think there's a constitutional issue here. I don't know why nobody go on about it. Our army is used to intimidate and abuse the people of Jamaica. That we do not have a social contract with people. Our social contract is with police, not the army. The army weren't never trained to do what this government is asking or demanding them to do. The government is using its army to provoke a peaceful community. A community that interact and intertwine with the rest of the population peacefully. This government, we see over and over, provoke and try to intimidate the Maroon community. Is this government provoking a civil unrest in order, one, to suspend the Constitution, and two, to suspend our election laws. You might never know what might be up this government's sleeve. But as my eye is nowhere far from this government mindset, I'm always watching the snake, the venomous snake, always watching. When a dictator wants to get their way, they will definitely do any and everything possible to hold on to power. And for that, we must keep a close eye on where this dictator is going with this new provocation. At some point, I'm going to try to get Brother Anu to come and speak about the issue. But I'm very disappointed this morning. I'm not able to bring those information to you. But for those of you on Chief Corey's page on Instagram, the information is there of what happened. But definitely, we will work on bringing that for you tonight. It is a disappointment because I really wanted to bring that information. But as it stands, I'm not going to be able to because for some reason, them video are processed for over hour now, I think, yes. Or me start process them before 1 o'clock. Me start process them just before me come on air, so I would have expect them to be complete by now, so I have access to them. But they're still not uploaded to my drive at the moment where I can bring them into the studio. So I apologize for that, but definitely we will do all we can to bring to you these stories tonight because it's an important development, one that we should keep our eye on, and one that all of us must stand ready to support the Maroon community and Chief Corey against any further provocation or anything else coming from this government. But I would warn Andrew Holness, the British nor the Spanish couldn't conquer them. Why do you think you can? The British nor the Spanish, Andrew Holness, could not conquer them. What makes you, Andrew Holness, thinks you can? This is where Global TV ends it this morning. We will be coming back tonight, if I even for half an hour, to make sure we highlight this issue. I'm going to work on getting my Instagram back up because even if I get my Instagram back up, then I can share. I can do it through a screen share, but right now it left me on the back foot. But thank you all for being here with us this morning. May I go out the door now, go live it up, live it up, live it up. Can me food with me and all those things. So, me can live out there for the day. Me don't have to wonder about anything once me step out the road. Good morning and good afternoon from Global Television.